Welcome to the Mankind Cave. Welcome to Kayfabe Connection, your home for facts, rumors, knowledge, trivia, and everything you know and hope to know about pro wrestling. Hit the subscribe button. It is right down here. If you want to listen to something different other than generic metal music, welcome to Q1 to 4 dudes talking about wrestling, the same topics, the same companies over and over. If you want to listen to something different, hit the subscribe button.
Hey, this is Adam, a.k.a. Edge, a.k.a. the Rated R Superstar, a.k.a. Dwight from Haven, a.k.a. What was my name in Bending the Rules? I can't remember, but you're listening to the Kayfabe Connection.
This is Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks, and you're listening to the Kayfabe Connection, your home for facts, rumors, knowledge, trivia, and everything you know or hope to know about pro wrestling. It's just too sweet.
Welcome to the Mankind Cave. Welcome to another episode of Kayfabe Connection, your home for facts, rumors, knowledge, trivia, and everything you know and hope to know about pro wrestling. I'm just going to come out and say it. Let me get the plugs out of the way, and I'm just going to get right into it because I got to get some stuff off my chest here. At the letter K, FABE Connection on Twitter. Go ahead and give a follow, share, retweet, all that good stuff. Anytime there's a new episode, right there in the profile, pinned to the top of the profile for Kayfabe Connection. I pin the episodes every week at the top of the Twitter feed. So you can check that there for new episodes. Also, subscribe. The main source. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. And feel free to comment in the comment section. I'm not just here. I know it's just one dude into a microphone, but I want to hear everybody's voices. Some of y'all voices are annoying sometimes, like I'm going to get into at the top of the this episode here. But I say that half serious, but it's pretty serious. But yeah, I want to hear from wrestling fans, and I think the thing is dissenting opinions are one thing, but when the logic is totally void and you are in full attack mode where you're retweeting every comment and putting gifts and like, it's just, hi, we're adults, let's talk about stuff. So I liken Kayfabe Connection to a troll-free zone. I've been doing this on and off for 8 years now. Started in 2012. We've seen different co-hosts kind of come and go and come back into the fray, but the main thing that has been maintained on this show has been the integrity of the source. You're not going to see me arguing with people and being ignorant with people. You're not going to see me post super sexist or just ignorant or even hateful things on my account. I'm also not going to virtue signal at people either. It's just I touch base on stuff. Sometimes things are funny that are actually funny, that aren't funny in a mean way. And that's it. And then we're done with it and we move on to the next thing. So I'd like to think that it's very controversial. Like there's no sensationalism that's done on behalf of this feed or this show or any of the mediums for social media. So there you go. But again, at the letter KFAB Connection, Kayfabe Connection, all one word on Instagram. Go ahead and give a follow on Instagram. Again, new shows are always posted. I like to do a little teaser, the Mankind Cave, as you can see. It's a fun little spot. You know, I'm about to watch some NBA basketball in here. I'm hyped for basketball to be coming back. Zion and the Pelicans taking on the Utah Jazz. So yeah, if I'm not in here gaming, I'm not watching wrestling. I'm back to watching sports. But yeah, I like to do little snips and take little pics in the Mankind Cave. Just a little fun, kind of behind the scenes stuff as I'm recording, just to kind of, you know, get everybody in the mood that, oh, okay, there's a new episode coming out. So yeah. Also, no Facebook. Again, there's no Facebook. I've been asked, hey, didn't you have a page? Yeah, that was many moons ago. There is not a Kayfabe Connection on Facebook. So Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, those are your main sources there. Give us a follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. So wanted to get right into it here. Watched Dynamite last night. Dynamite was it was a solid show. It was it out of this world exceptional. I don't know. It's a hard bar to measure. I hearken to past topics about PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, one of my favorite all-time indies that are not running shows currently, obviously, but when they were in their moments, outside of some stuff, Excalibur, there's some stuff that happened. Yikes. Not a fan of that, but that was the one thing about them is that with PWG, there was such an overachieving expectation that every show is a 10, and if it's not a 10, it sucked, which is bizarre, right? Like 9s and 8s are good. Like that's above average shows. If it's not a 10, then you're like, man, that was kind of lackluster. But it wasn't. It just wasn't a 10. So I think AEW, and it's funny because there's a lot of PWG talent in AEW. There's a lot of PWG talent in WWE too. But I think that it's this symmetrical sort of comparison that they've had 10 shows where, especially like last week, are like, dude, they hit on all cylinders. And this week wasn't bad. But then you have the overreactions of people online, which is the essence of this episode here. And what I like to do with this podcast is segment the topics out so that it's not just one long drawn out podcast all the time. I like to just jump into topics and let you digest it, and it's quick and it's easy to digest, and then you go on to the next topic. Just something that came to mind, and I think supply and demand too. I think it's obvious. Isn't that YouTube? Like quick little breathable, digestible blurps that you can easily take up. You see it, you go, oh, this is a 12-minute video. I'd like to hear what the topic is. Oh, I'm interested. Boom. So as far as direction of the podcast, yeah, this is where we're heading as far as that goes. So I'm not saying the podcast format of like an hour show is not going to be the norm. There will be lengthy shows to a degree, but you're definitely going to see more prevalence of just standard, here's a topic, roll with it, there's the episode, and multiple episodes that drop, and just kind of more a quicker instant gratification feel than a weekly, you got to wait. And that's how it is too. There's sometimes like there's 2 Dynamites I haven't even covered, but then I got to wrap it up on a whole week-long filled show when Sengoku Lord already happened, and there's just all these topics to talk about. So I digress. The pulse of, I guess, social media last night, albeit just Twitter, we'll say. The main Twitter feed for Wednesday Night Wrestling was super toxic last night. And I'm not going to get on that kumbaya, my lord tip that a lot of people do on Wednesday nights where, can't we just watch both, guys? Can't we just enjoy both? You can enjoy what you enjoy. You don't automatically have to default to, well, I got to like them both, because then people on social media will say that I'm, being negative, or I'm a stan, or I'm, for lack of a better phrasing, dick riding, because I enjoy and I'm partial to one than the other. I would say, me as a wrestling fan, and just speaking on my own behalf, and this is not coming from an egotistical standpoint, this is not coming from any type of vain bone in my body. Most of the talent in NXT, I've already had lengthy conversations with the wrestlers. I've given them daps and hugs and high fives and been involved in the match and did something and had extensive conversations with them and bought their merch and supported them for a long time. That was always my thing about going to NXT. I saw the Breakfast Club NXT when it was in the Key Largo Loop days in Florida, and I got to meet Balor and Natami and Charlotte for free just because I was there. I was the first one in line, and the ticket cost $25. Owens was there, Generico was there, like you name it, everybody who's everybody. The 4 Horsewomen were there. It was $25 for a ticket, and I was ringside. and I got to meet a bunch of different people. You know, why would I spend $100 and go to a stadium and look at ants in a shoebox at a takeover? Why would I continue to watch a product that neuters people that I enjoy watching? It's this hardcore, softcore comparison, to not be crass, but you get where I'm going with that, right? It's like, it's such a like a neutered, edited, tamed byproduct where nobody really gets to stand out. They do in NXT, but you know the eventual turn. How many times has one uttered, man, I hope they don't, blow it with so-and-so on the main roster. Man, I hope they don't waste her or him on the main roster. That adage is so redundant because the proof is in the pudding. How many people get up to the main roster and then you see where they're going? Shout out to Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon. Never thought I would drop that, but here you go to show that I'm not biased. I don't know whose decision it was to give the credit to, but they ultimately, Vince has the final say, and Bruce is his yes man next to him. For Big E getting a singles push. Where it goes, who knows? Maybe we should reserve the praise for a latter moment, but shout out to them for giving Big E a singles run he deserves. Dude, the 5 count was so sick in NXT when I was watching NXT. And then he goes to the main roster, and then he gets Ziggler and AJ, and that was kind of cool. But like, dude, they debuted him laying out Cena on the ending of Raw, and then it didn't go anywhere with him as a singles wrestler. And you thought when Kofi was the champ that the obvious choice was like, oh, Big E's going to go heel, or Xavier's going to go heel, and Big E will be the tweener. He'll be the heater, and then they'll just kind of branch out. Nothing happened. Goldberg. Ugh. Same difference. Lesnar squashes Kofi in an 8-second match on the first Fox episode of SmackDown, which was October, 9 months ago. They're an afterthought now. Big E is still, they come out with pancakes and that's it. That's why, that long-winded explanation, that's why I don't watch NXT. I've already seen all of these people do amazing things where if I'm watching this scripted, you have to cut promos, everyone, look, you got to learn the hard cam, brother. That's why you got to go to Full Sail to learn the hard cam. You got to know which way to look into the camera. And that takes 2 years to figure that out before, right? Come on. That's the reason why I don't enjoy it and I don't watch it. And I'm not on some soapbox. I'm not being self-righteous about it. I think it's just offering an explanation for people that aren't on that kumbaya tip that we gotta like both wrestling shows and you're being sheep and you're just being goaded into thinking that it's one versus the other. Trust me, society is very us versus them, especially right now. But when it comes to wrestling, I don't have to enjoy both companies. And I love how people say both companies. There's more than one wrestling company. Dude, New Japan's killing it right now, in my opinion. I think Naito's getting both belts back. Evil was an experiment to boost Hiromu, which that match at Sengoku slapped. That was a banger match. That put Hiromu on like ultra babyface. And Naito's there too. And now Evil's a massive heel and a star. So you did that all in one swoop. Even if it's only like a 50-day title reign for Evil, cool. You elevated 3 people in the same stable, now 1 out of the stable, but you get it. They elevated it in one swoop. They're killing it. Impact is killing it right now. Killing it. The Motor City Machine Guns Rascal match was dope at Slammiversary, but the tag team championship match against the North, spoiler alert, Motor City Machine Guns are the new tag champs and Impact. That match was a banger. That was weekly Impact. Impact had me buzzing for a pay-per-view in 2020. There are several companies that are killing it right now. If you miss indie wrestling, go back and watch OTT. It's like $6.99 for the app. It's basically the Irish PWG, to be simple about it. There's so much stuff. So even that vocabulary, that isolation this very stubborn rhetoric that we use. Oh, you got to watch both companies. I know what you mean. Like, it's Wednesday night, so there's one or the other company to watch per se. But you're almost reinforcing this mindset that it's one company or the other, and there's no other companies. There's so many companies. It just happens these are on Wednesday nights against each other. And I don't know what's more toxic, the rating days on Thursday today, which AEW won again, or Wednesday nights at 10:01. And this is my final point to bring this episode to a close here. I have never seen wrestling so toxic than I have in the social media era. And I put... I made a comment on Twitter. I tweeted out, remember, sorry, I'm adjusting my mic here. I don't remember seeing whiny dorks complaining after the ending of Nitro and ECW episodes. We didn't have that, man. And I hate to be that old curmudgeon, like maybe I need another buttoned up and these kids, hike my pants up. These kids these days, we didn't complain on Twitters about ECW and WCW, but we didn't though. We didn't though, man. Like, we didn't. Even like getting on the phone and calling people. That was what we used to do. Instead of tweeting, the end of Nitro, Stinger Splash, we gotta go. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Yo, did you see the end? And like, oh yeah, and like they cut the match out. Like, I wonder if Sting won or like if the NWO came out. And no, all right, I gotta go to school in the morning, so I gotta go to bed, which doesn't change when you're adult. Like, I call them school nights still when I gotta go to bed for work. Like tonight's school night, works in the morning. But yeah, that was it. There was not this. You're going to know all of my thoughts and I'm going to overanalyze everything. Like, this is the thing that I saw. Matt Cardona, which fuck him. I have a friend who does a podcast, Fully Posable, one of my good friends, and he is a co-host with his brother. And this dude, just egomaniacal bullshit. Someone put a hashtag for my friend's podcast on a package that was sent to him through eBay, and he got his panties in a bunch, dude. This dude went on for 12 minutes on his podcast with Hawkins, and Hawkins seems to be cool, and I don't know them either on a personal level. I'm just saying, like, the way that he handled it, bruh, acting like a baby about it. So yeah, shout out to Fully Posable. That's it. That's my 2 cents on Matt Cardona. Coming back to it, Matt Cardona debuted on Dynamite last night and came to the aid of Cody, his friend, which they are in a tag match on next week's Dynamite. People at 10:01 were just putting the gif of him and he's all jacked and sunburned, and they're like, oh, notice how ripped all the people that leave WWE get when they go to another company. And it's like, oh, whoa. Are we really going to talk steroids in wrestling and being in defense of WWE? They invented steroids. They invented the stereotype, the land of the giants, brother, where you gotta be 7 foot tall and jacked, and that's the only way you can be champ. That expectation, that precedent that was set, created the steroid scandal in wrestling. And it trickles to all other levels because we beat it in our heads that WWE is the end-all be-all. It's the big show, brother. It's the big show, right? The big time. That's it. That's where your wrestling career ends and where it should always navigate to. And what do they want there? They want big, jacked-up guys. You're really going to go there and say, oh, well, everybody's jacked on roids when they leave WWE? No. Maybe they're working out excessively because they know they're going to be on a different TV program and they want to have a different look or a better look, and they're in a better headspace to focus on their body and their mind and everything. Like, and again, this isn't a defense of Matt Cardona and being defensive of him and leave him alone. And he's a grown man. He can take care of himself. But, it's like, I don't understand I don't get it. I don't understand why at 10:01 p.m. everybody's a fucking TV executive. Everybody's a wrestling promoter. Everybody's got their opinions are opinions. But when you pontificate and then you attack people because they have a different opinion than you, come on, dude. Dude, I had a dude with an Adam Cole profile pic and Triple H and another dude with a Roman Reigns like cover photo. And, you know, they're coming at me about, oh, whoa. And all I'm doing is just seeing, again, checking the pulse on what the wrestling fans are saying on Twitter. That turns into this constant retweeting of everything I say and then putting GIFs. And it's just like, bruh, I'm an adult. I'm sitting on the couch with my wife. I just enjoyed a wrestling show. Silly me for checking to see what people are saying. So it's almost like you just kind of got to tune out of that stuff. And at 10:01, I don't want to see what Twitter says. All I know is what I thought about it, and maybe some colleagues of mine who I value their opinion. Shout out to Larry and Logan in New Orleans. There's people whose opinion I value, and I'll consult with them about the show. But other than that, the general public's opinion of the shit, it's like, ugh, no. Because all you're going to get is toxicity. And I know that may seem hypocritical. I'm not, again, I like having conversations with wrestling fans, but when you're very personal with people and you're taking shots at people and making it this personal thing, like, great, you have a Roman Reigns cover photo, like, you love, your bias is clear. There's no point. I can't argue your opinion for you. Like, your opinion is just fact in your head. So no matter what I tell you or bring up to you, your mind is made up. I have no interest in arguing with wrestling Twitter. I'm just saying that at 10:01 p.m., you should at least not feel burdened by just trying to see what people thought of something and thought of the product when you have so much just nitpicking and fickleness. You know, so that's my stance. That's what I think about 10:01 p.m. on Wednesdays. And I think we're going to title this episode 10:01 p.m. on Wednesdays for the episode. But that's all I got for you. Again, make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. At the letter K, FABE Connection on Twitter. Kayfabe Connection, all one word, on Instagram. Definitely comment in the comment section here. Share, tell a friend, get your grandma watching Kayfabe. I love my grandma. We all love our grandmas, right? We can talk grandma wrestling, see what your grandma thinks, whatever. But that's it for another episode of Kayfabe Connection. Next time someone tells you wrestling's fake, you know, you tell them, so are movies and TV.